Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Malifaux, and tonight's game sees Yanlo facing off against Ramos in a battle of the geriatrics. For terrain, we have forests, impassable hardcover, height lots buildings. These hedges are height 1 climbable. These fences with spiky bits are hazardous terrain severe. These walls are impassable hardcover. These rocks are height 2 impassable hardcover, and we've got a big patch of severe terrain in the centre. I lost the deployment flip and set up first. We've got Yakuna Ubume, or however you say that, with Unnerving Aura. Yin with Unnerving Aura. The Graveyard Spirit. Izamu with Unnerving Aura. Can you see what I'm trying to do here? A Rotten Bell, a Goryo, a Nurse, and Yanlo, with Brutal Kakara and, what was that called? Reliquary. Good, I remember what I'm doing. Facing us, we have Ramos and his beastly spiders. Leading from the front, we've got Ramos, with Electric Summoning, Under Pressure, and Field Generator. An Electrical Creation, a Mobile Toolkit, Joss, with Bleeding Edge Tech. A Silent One, the frickin' brass arachnid of Doom, and Howard Langston, with Imbued Energies. So this is a kind of a fun crew build that I've dreamt up. Basically, depends on using Unnerving Aura. I want to set up Izamu, Yin, and Yakuna in a triangle. The Graveyard Spirit to make Yin and Yakuna a bit tougher to kill, and basically lightning dance tasty targets into the middle of them, using Fury of Yomi hopefully to get extra attacks, and then using the Bell and Yakuna to pull things around her dangerous terrain aura, and maybe the Nurse can pass some hallucinogens around. So yeah, I've built my entire crew into a big obvious trap, but if it works it's going to be hilarious. The Goryo is there to get me the Seishin and generate that all-important second chi on the first turn. And they're just fantastic models that can ignore armor and pass out adversary. And if I can get him scouting out around the edges, maybe I can lightning dance some targets that I don't want to deal with out wide. Something like that. Or hunt scheme runners. I'm taking Show of Force because for once I've got things that have upgrades and they want to be in the centre, so that seems a good idea to me. I'm taking Search the Ruins because I don't normally take it. It's nice to get the practice, and I want to try to force myself to try to survive till the end of the game. Let's see how we do. Turn 1. I get the dubious honour of going first because I lost the initiative flip, and my Bell just freaking wastes her time trying to lure out the electrical creation. This thing is willpower 10 and obviously hasn't activated, so yeah, this is just a terrible idea. So obviously I fail, and then it just runs out to where, out into the middle anyway. My Goryo drops the Seishin and then runs out over here. Joss shoots the electrical creation, creating double scrap, and moves up to around here. The Seishin dicks around. Ramos goes, summons 3 spiders off some scrap, and summons an electrical creation. I piss around with Izamu, he pisses around with the toolkit, I go with Yin. A spider fidgets or something, yep, we're gonna go into this. So by this point I've gone with Yakuna, I've moved up into position, setting up the triangle. It's not perfect as there's this escape gap, what with disengaging strike, melee 8, melee 7, damage on disengaging strikes. I'm fairly confident we are making a bit of an unappealing escape route here. But the main thing is that I've got these guys close enough that the Graveyard Spirit can stand between them and give them armor 2. Like an utter doofus, I've lured Joss closer to the action. I want him slightly more forward to be potentially lightning danceable into my trap next turn. But really, Joss is probably quite happy to come towards me, thank you very much. I'm looking at his crew and it's slowly occurring to me that this is not a good matchup. Howard Langston's Decapitate laughs at my, low defense across the board, and he's got really high minimum damage, which is sucks to be Yin. Joss also has high minimum damage and ignores armor, which makes Izamu very sad. Ramos also ignores armor and has casting actions, which makes, my incorporeal models and armored models very sad. This one's going to be a tough one. So the brass arachnid has reactivated itself. The spiders have combined into a swarm, and the electrical creation has drifted over to my bell and my Goyo just to say hi. My graveyard spirit, seeing the danger coming their way, has come and given these guys armour. I'm anticipating Howard Langston coming barreling through this flank, as I figure the severe terrain will stop him hitting my centre. But would you look at that, he doesn't give a shit. So the spider's given him reactivate, and the toolkit actually also gave him some buff that I can't remember. I think it was positives to his attack or damage or something. So yeah, he hopped the wall quite happily, got around to here, reactivated Nimbled, and then charged into Yin. Taking a little bit of hazardous terrain from Yakuna, that was nice. Yin had gone defensive and proceeds to Black Joker against the Decapitate strike, takes minimum damage down to half wounds, and I decided to ditch some moderate cards, high moderate cards I have to say, to try to keep her alive. I don't think she's going to survive, because I should mention he also used his imbued energies, but I want to make sure he can't do something horrendous like decapitate. So I throw in my cards to keep Yin up. She dies to the second swing, and then the third swing actually misses Izamu, my Izamu is really, really lucky. What can I say? Turn 2, and this is what a hand looks like when you've got a Howard Langston right in the middle of your crew. But fortunately I get the initiative, the nurse goes and makes Izamu hallucinate. She then tries her luck by taking meds on Howard, trying to get the paralyze or the only take walk and interact actions, but my opponent stops it with a high card, which was fine. I'm happy to draw that out. And then Izamu goes to frickin' town on the arachnid monstrosity. And to my total shock, Howard Langston is not framed for murder. Good boy Izamu. In response, the spider swarm charges in and pulverizes the Goyo. Incorporeal on armor 2 doesn't give a shit. I just cannot flip higher than a 3 for his defense, so the spider swarm just keeps on going. Pretty much maxing out his attacks, and yeah, taking down my only armor ignoring model, which was a bit poo. We fast forward a bit. Joss has been slowed by the undressing bell. He's into that kind of stuff. Ramos has spewed a load of spiders into my face and badly hurt Yakuna. Yanlo's brought Yin back onto the field and lightning danced one of the spiders that was here over here to join Izamu. And then I've used my zero action to heal Yin up to full. So currently Yanlo has only transcended to Spirit Ascendant. I might have forgot to mention in the first turn he killed the Seishin and got the all-important second chi to allow him to do that. And with Joss on the other side of the severe terrain and plenty of soul stones to protect me from Ramos and these spiders, I didn't feel things were pressing enough to get Ash Ascendant up, and preferred to heal my guys. So what I'm trying to do here is make sure these spiders do not survive the turn. They've come in with 1 damage, and they will take 1 damage when they activate within Yakuna's hazardous terrain. And at the end of their activation, they will take 2 damage from my 2 unnerving auras and die, which would leave me with 4 scoring models and my opponent with 4 scoring models, and so the extraction marker won't move, which will be quite handy for me. Yakuna's pretty important to that plan, so I've got the Grave Spirit over to give Izamu armor 4 and, more importantly, Yakuna armor 2 and incorporeal, which at least theoretically should be quite a nice combination. And at the end of the turn, things look like this. Yakuna's completely flubbed, Yin has done a little bit of damage and poison to the spider swarm, and really annoyingly, this lone spider has survived because I forgot that it could regenerate thanks to, I think, probably Ramos's aura. Someone's aura anyway. We both score extraction and I get show of force. Turn 3, now this was a very hard decision. This is the hand I drew. It's solid, there are some very high moderates in here, but it's not fantastic, as there are no severes. Should I soulstone, should I not? I elect not to soulstone. I figure I may need it if Yanlo needs to go in and take some heat. And I don't like the idea of maybe having to chuck one of these cards. And the 1 is always a good drop to for Yanlo's chi. So yeah, I don't soulstone, and I think that's the right idea. I'm not sure. I get initiative again, lucky me, and decide to see what Yanlo can do. He's sitting on quite a lot of chi at the moment. I use Transcendence and drop 1 chi on Yin to make it Spirit and Armour 2. I decided not to do it for Yakuna because she's already got Armour 2 and things are just going to ignore Armour anyway. And I'd rather keep the Chi. And then I used Fury of Yomi to give Izamu, Yakuna and Yin an attack. Good old height 3 Izamu, I can see him for, over everything. So, Yakuna attacks this spider that's threatening to kill her and misses. Yin attacks this spider swarm and misses. Because I figure Izamu's got this, Izamu attacks the spider and misses. Well, fuck. I needed this thing gone so I could use my AP running towards the extraction marker that's been moved over here. But that's not going to happen now. Not gonna lie, kinda missing the Soul Porter. Mindful that Yakuna is important to me for scoring points, I then use my 0 action to heal her rather than ascending again. And so now she's, I think, pretty much back up to full health. But Ramos cares not for my feeble attempts to keep my Armour 2 incorporeal model alive and casts her into oblivion, which drives me into such a rage that I completely fuck up Ian's activation. So I want to get rid of this brass arachnid before it can start reactivating things. That's always very annoying. So I decide to get over to it with Yin, kill it, and then just gum up the rest of his stuff, take some heat and take the heat away from the rest of my crew. So I kick things off by forgetting to use Gnawing Fears first, and go with the Fear Behind the Eyes, cheating in my high mask to get the push trigger, and then push straight into base to base with the Spider Swarm. It did some damage at least to the Brass Arachnid, but oh my goodness, that was a bad move. So poorly thought out. So I just scrabble away at the Spider Swarm, doing very little damage, which it will heal up very quickly. Probably would have been better to try to kill this spider on its last wound. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Over here, the bell bites the dust as the electric construct explodes. I believe the Silent One shot it, and fortunately the Armour 2 I put on Yin protects her from most of the damage, which was something. So as things progress, the spiders just run around a bit. Seems Ramos managed to summon some more between killing Yakuna. The Brass Arachnid fails to reactivate Joss, which was very much appreciated. The Graveyard Spirit kills the spider, which was also appreciated, and then runs over to Yin to give them some armour, just in case. Izamu finds he can get within 6 inches of the marker and charges in on the Spider Swarm and flattens it. Good boy, Izamu. And the nurse runs around here and paralyses Ramos, which was amazing. Really happy with that. I waited till my opponent ran out of cards before doing it, but that was my last card. And the Arcanists finish up by Joss shooting the nurse. His shot damages her, his second shot also damages her, but I get the pushing trigger and push to within 6 inches of the marker. Now I have 2 models and so might score! The mobile toolkit blows itself up and kills her. Ah, fuck's sake. Just crushing. We go into turn 4, I've soulstoned and my hand is pretty damn good. However, the score is a pretty pathetic 2-all, as I wasn't able to score extraction and Joss was blocking my show of force. Arcanists get the initiative, Joss comes in and smashes Yin into paste yet again. That's, it's those plus flips that just make my life hell. So Yanlo is on about 1 million chi by now, and I'm looking at all these scraps and corpse markers and wishing I had Toshiro. So Yan decides to go a bit apeshit. He walks as far as he can up over here, ascends to Bone Ascendant, and then Hunpo assaults into the middle of my opponent's crew. He kills the Brass Arachnid, I think fails to hit the spider. My opponent cheated a very high card. Put some decent damage on the Silent One. Again, my opponent cheated quite a good card to try to prevent the positive flips. And then puts in a really decent hit on Ramos, whose armour just fucking laughs it off, and who gets the trigger to push me away out of engagement, but still within range of the marker. Something that wasn't bad, I killed the Brass Arachnid, I've damaged the Silent One, and I've got myself in range of the marker, which is pretty nice. Maybe I should have gone for Joss with both Yanlo and Izamu. He's blocking my show of force, but with Armour 2, I'm pretty sure we won't kill him unless Izamu really pulls it out of the box. So I think this was the right decision. As it is, my Graveyard Spirit valiantly takes on Ramos's henchman, tries to position himself, completely being obscured in line with the bases from the silent one, just to force it to move if it wants to shoot him. And I think the silent one goes for his armor in the end. But this was a bit of disagreement between me and my opponent. And to be fair, I've always played it that you can't completely obscure a base, a 30mm base with a 30mm base, because that's what I've always been told. And yeah, that's how we've always played it. But I'm not certain that's true. I don't see how a 30mm base does not perfectly occlude another 30mm base if the alignment is just perfect. So yeah, tell me where I'm wrong, guys, but I want some maths in that explanation. So Azamu has run, struggling through the severe terrain to get within range of the marker, and he makes it, and a spider comes out to just slow him down, and the turn ends without many more events. We both score for extraction, and nothing else. And it's looking pretty bad for me to get this Search the Ruins. I think I've got a chance if Azamu can kill this spider in 1 or even 2 hits. I can probably drop a scheme marker this side, just over the side of the centre line, and Yanlo can Humpo Assault out and place another scheme marker, or even Lightning Dance somewhere, dink them away and place a scheme marker and maybe even stand on it. And hopefully I can prevent them from being eaten, although I'm aware that lots of things in this game can eat my scheme markers when I think they're safe. We go into turn 5, I'm Soul Stone again, because why not? His armor's pretty badly damaged, and so I get him to go before he dies, and he fucks my plan up. And Black jokers the damage flip on the spider. And at this point, I can't be bothered, I'm tired of flipping these shitty cards. And I'm just going to try to secure the draw, so I use the rest of his AP just healing himself. Ramos goes, summons a swarm of spiders around Yanlo, and does very little damage, thanks to me using my remaining soul stones with his casting action. And then Yanlo goes, he Hunpo assaults over here, killing the silent one, which was the main target, as I'm pretty sure he's going for Search the Ruins, and I want to stop his scheme marker running capabilities, so we get rid of this scheme runner. Hit Ramos, can't remember if I do anything, and then I Lightning Dance to safety, because I know a spider swarm's coming over here. Lightning Dancing to safety, near the marker, place the Arachnid over here on the other side of Azamu's base. I'm sort of thinking maybe it will block Joss, but I'm a twat. And we'll see why shortly. Because Joss tries to escape the clutches of my brave Graveyard Spirit and fails, melee 3 is just so broken. And then he fails to kill the Graveyard Spirit. I think I'd gone defensive, and he's boss, and he survives. But then Azamu, with his melee 8 positive flip disengaging strike, fails to stop the Arachnid from getting away and dropping a scheme marker, and the other Arachnid walks over here and drops a scheme marker, scoring a claim jump. We both score extraction, and the game ends there. In final scores, the Arcanists scored 4 points for extraction, no points for Search the Ruins, and 1 point for claim jump. The Resurrectionists scored 3 points for extraction, 1 point for show of force, and no points for Search the Ruins, making this game 5-4 to Ramos and the Arcanists. Really enjoyable game. My opponent is good fun, and I really like Yanlo. He's a lot of fun to play. Not sure I'm very happy with how I did actually play him. I definitely made some big mistakes. Messing up Yin's activation here was just horrendous. So bad. And completely unforced error. But I struggled to find a way to get use out of her. I mean, there were so many positive flips nullifying her most important defensive trait. If something wants to hit her, it's just going to pass that terrifying. And I don't really have enough other willpower checks in the crew to really build that into a significant card drain. And with lots of high minimum damage around, and with the number of attacks this thing gets, because I just flip so terribly against it, it doesn't even matter that I had armor 2. And it just felt that Yin wasn't enough to be on the front line. I think or at least I think in this game she would have worked much better as a decoy out of the centre that I could just lightning dance targets to. So yeah, I don't think I played her well. Losing her straight off the bat to Howard Langston was a bit unintended. I should have checked those distances a bit better. But in the end, I feel this was in my favour. As yes, I lose an upgrade carrying model, but my opponent does too, and his one is much more expensive than mine. And more than being just expensive, it is the, such a big threat off the table as well. And Yin can come back. So I'm not unhappy with that. I feel the Hunpo Assault was the right thing to do with Yanlo at this point, but moving the Graveyard Spirit into attack Joss was not. Whenever you find yourself attacking something you're never going to kill for the hell of it, that is almost always the bad move. And moving it around Joss up here somewhere to make him a lightning dance node, or at least, or keep Joss engaged, but move him up around here so that I could try to pluck Joss away from the 6 inches of the centre, would have given me more options at least. Oh, my failure of a Fury of Yomi activation was just crushing. Overall, I just don't think I positioned well enough. With Yanlo, I just feel you've got to be so spot on. It feels like this crew should be pretty tough with the amount of armour and incorporeal and terrifying manipulative it can generate. But my opponent just had the tools to deal with it, and he ate it. Well done, sir. So yeah, that was the game. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to give me any Yanlo tips, I really need them. I feel he could be so good, and I really enjoy playing him. So help an ancestor out, won't you? Anyway guys, that's it. Take care.